What county the other thing?
It's the fire.
We are live. It worked. Don't let that happen. With actual help. With 30 seconds to go. You told me to do it on there, you're gonna have it.
Alright, we'll go ahead and call the May Fire Commission meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. Jamie, I'll ask if you would lead us in prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, thanks for bringing us back today, dear Lord, and giving us a good day, dear Lord, and thank you for the food that you provided for us, and be with this fire commission, that you just help us to make the right decisions for this county, dear Lord. Keep us all safe. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Dan. Next on the agenda, let everybody know 8B, recruitment and retention. That we accidentally put on the agenda. It doesn't need to be there, so I'd like us to remove it. Get a motion. Toby, motion. Ron, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Unanimous. All right. Now that we've done that, anybody got any other issues with the agenda tonight? Can I get a motion to approve? Billy? Ron, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Unanimous. All right, thank you. All right, everybody get to look over April's minute. Any discussion, deletions, additions need to be made?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes from April.
Ron, motion. Second. Second. Greg, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Alright, we didn't have anyone sign up for a comment. Any citizen want to make a comment? Alright, move on to the standing committee report. SOG, Chuck, no report. Strategic planning, Mark, no report. Apparatus committee, no report. Budget, we'll go over budget a little bit later. I think in the committee though. And Kurt should be Clint. I guess that'd be nothing on here. Move on to old business. Discussion concerning fire rescue moving forward. All I know is it was included in the budget to be presented to the county council for the Donald Green, and moving forward the wording was changed when it was presented to county council that the second and third station would be determined at a later date. From what I understand, it seemed pretty receptive about it, but we'll you have to wait and see how it goes during the vote. You got anything to add to that?
I know nothing on that, so nothing to add to really. I just know that things going before the cow and then okay. So that's all.
Anybody got any comments, thoughts, concerns on that? Maybe we just wait and see what the county council does now.
When's it anticipated going live, like on green?
I was told if they pass it, put it in the new budget, as soon as they can get everything going after the new budget.
I'm ready to see it go.
It'll be September, you know, they gotta.
Yeah, because July the 1st is the day that you can pull the trigger. And
Yeah, they'll have to get things lined up. They, I'll have to hire a captain for that position.
It'll be a little bit, not
Be
too
a little bit, but it will definitely start the ball rolling in the, budget passed. Anything else? Move on to, first year report.
It was not here, so I have nothing, and you didn't tell me nothing on it, so.
Don't.
Let you go there. I fix fire drills, I don't want no part. And I don't do that very well.
Alright. We'll go, nothing to report on first year. Alright, fire report. Somewhere.
No, it did not. Was it supposed to? Yes.
Everybody's been working on getting their fire reports caught up. I know Miss Julie been sending out a list. You've been working on it, thank you. If you haven't, please do something about it. Any discussion on that?
Got some outstanding ones, just get them done.
There's, right now, we're without a tough book, but, we got one other way that we can do them, one of the members is, he's putting them in for us that way, until we get the tough book back.
Billy?
Yeah.
Okay, before you leave, I got your computer back there, I need to check for an update again.
Okay,
I'll just do it.
okay.
Okay, that's good.
Well, I know the first due, we've talked about it before, and I don't want to report, but is there any time frame of when we'll be putting reports in first due? I feel like we've been talking about this for 3 years, and we still can't do the first thing yet. And I spoke to first due, probably over an hour at LPIC, and they pretty much assured me it's on our side. So I don't know.
I don't want to.
You don't want to what?
I don't want to enter reports into first due.
Well,
We went to that ER at Indian Land.
Yeah.
We was entering ours, and it was, I mean, it took me 3.5 hours to put a structure fire in.
yeah, we shouldn't do that, but it don't.
Well, I mean, you got like 15 pages, and you check box on page 2. When you get to 13, you click a box, and then 3 other pages turn back red, so then you gotta go back. And I mean, it's a live report.
Well, we want to, so, I asked them, you know, if it was a way of breaking departments out, and some of them don't want to. And they're like, yes, so I guess that'll be a Billy question, but, I'm sick and tired of getting emails about all these reports that our guys are putting in, and they can't find them. And we've already put in several of them, and it worked. Ann told us, she said, that looks just like we done it. And I cannot get an answer why we can't continue to do that. It's very aggravating. It's very aggravating that it's sitting over here for 2.5, 3 years, and we still cannot move forward on this for some reason.
I understand that, but unfortunately, the two that.
Oh, I know, I just,
Ain't here tonight.
I understand. I just wanted on the agenda that it's going on, this, another meeting that we have our, that updates.
I'm, sure we'll have it on the agenda next month. Hopefully, someone will have you some answers next month.
I'm gonna write it down to you.
I'm hanging on it to, pass it on to one that needs to know.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm just, it's weird. I talked to our side, and then when I'm talking to first due, it's a totally different story. We was told you can't have, like, we have people that volunteer and work part-time. Nope, you can't do that. So they've been in there manually doing it, and they're like, you can do 2 people in there. It's absolutely no problem. So, I don't know. It's aggravating.
Any other comment on the report? business. Discussion concerning the budget.
Hey, Darren did tell me that, there was a lot of numbers, and Greg can attest to this, that when they presented stuff, numbers were not right and got hammered on a few things. I know Greg, I did get to see Greg, so I didn't get to see Harry. But those have been changed now, and Darren said that, is going to be presented will be the right stuff, and hopefully, I don't know how those got changed, maybe you know something more about it, but Darren said that has been fixed. But that's all I know.
He just told me that there was a mix up somewhere, but he and Brett went and sat down with him, got it all straightened out, and like he said, that county council has got the correct numbers for them now. That's all, just talk about the McDonald Green and moving forward.
So the fiscal budget ends next month, right, at the end of
June 30th.
June 30th.
July 1 is a new budget year.
Okay.
And Darren did tell me he was advocating real hard to increase our equipment money because of the price of all the equipment going up. He really expressed that to Fire Commission, that especially with the price of turnout gear, that the money we get ain't got enough. Once again, we had to wait and see what county council does with that. Any other discussion? Discussion concerning call type?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Call type? Anybody got anything? Call issue?
I know the people that's not here, the person's not here that can answer this question, but I'll still ask it anyway. In the first due, normally it comes out as drug dealing or other instead of being correct. I don't know if that relates to the 8C as it's stated here, but it'd be great if that could be corrected somehow, where it's not drug dealing and, you know, we're going drug dealing and going, you know, what's going on there, you know, I mean, it could be an outside fire or something that they can't title it correctly, I don't know what it is, but it'd be great if that could be resolved, but they're putting it forward.
That was brought up at last month's meeting, and, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but Steve said they was working on that.
It's the same as if it comes out, choose call,
Yeah, choose God. So
it's usually a traumatic injury, but I don't know why it
I
reverts
gotta choose, it's gonna be a structure fire.
choose whatever call, and I mean, our guys choose the same one every time, and they get it.
Choose call,
It
you
just
gotta
comes up,
choose it and they
whatever.
didn't do it, so that's what.
I guess.
Yeah.
99% of the time when we get it, it's a traumatic injury.
You go, I wrote that down and I'll try to find out about that, I'm not sure.
The issue did get brought up last month. Ian, anything else? Alright, concerning AFG grant. Anybody?
You get one now anyway. Right, I can't even update mine.
Any grant update?
Everybody should've got their money for the visa.
Speaking of which, I've got 3 sets of gear and some stuff I've ordered. When should I pay Lancaster County for that? When the POs, when the gear is received, do I pay Lancaster at that time, or?
I would think they would send you an invoice.
I would say when the gear comes in, they should send you, or if the invoice comes here, really it'll notify you that you got invoice, or
Okay.
it should technically come to you, your department. But that's when you pay, just when you receive goods, they'll send you the invoice. If not, when you get that gear, I make that happen. I got my gear, I got my equipment, where's my invoice?
I have other items that I need to order really to finish my visa. I've been here a few times looking for Billy.
He just emailed him what you gotta get
Just
on.
send them an email, what you gotta
I'll
have,
bill
and
them,
tell
call
them,
them.
tell them it's for the AFG grant,
And get it,
or I mean, I'm sorry,
DSA.
DSA grant,
Okay.
and then hopefully get over.
Alright. Anything else from Grant? Training report.
Alright, members of the commission, Brent had a doctor's appointment, so he's at the doctor with his wife, but I'm gonna give the report. So in front of you, in your package, you have the, January to June classes we have finished, or two, one complete, one canceled. We're testing this weekend, for our firefighter one. We started with the larger class, and due to some dropouts and no-shows, we're down to, I think, 9 or 10 that'll test out on Sunday. With that, just, the new class packet is out for July to December. It is not on the portal yet, but just remind your members to continue using the 29301 for billing purposes, when they fill out their classes, when they do go live. So when they do go live, just start checking for cutoff dates and then prerequisites, to get into these classes. On the high school program, we had already completed, company ops for the senior. They just tested building construction today. They've got one last class, which I've only got about 2 weeks left with them, so we will finish NIMS for the fire service to be our last, class they will be in. The juniors, next Friday, they're gonna test out one portion of their fire one, at City Fire Burn Building next Friday, and then I'll have about 2 weeks left with them to get their national IFSAC Fire One test done. For rescue, last month's training officer meeting got canceled due to, I'm trying to remember, we had an incident that we had to cancel it for, but
School bus accident.
yeah, the school bus accident, down in, Chester County. But the training officer, we're gonna still be discussing the spring and fall rescue drills. The next active shooter drill, if you wanna take part in that, will be July 22nd and 24th. We're still planning on July, August timeframe, gonna do some rescue struck training. Now that every department's got rescue 42s. Airbags, I know they have been ordered for every station that does not have them, so as soon as they get in and we can get them placed in service, we're gonna be going around and doing some airbag training to get everybody up to par on how to use them that will be placed on your trucks. Still remember, I know we all live busy lives, and I'm one to blame with this too, but your social media station history, please start getting that together. That way we can try to get some of that done before some of our older members, move on. And then, sometime in July, we'll probably, have a Class C licensing, because we got a class testing out tomorrow morning, in Indian Land, and then a class testing out Saturday morning in Kershaw. So sometime in July, we'll try to get a Class C, and then make sure if you got some drivers, that need EVDT, that we can try to get this class in August filled. And then we'll do a Class E right behind that. Other than that, if there's no questions, that's all to report from the training officer, so.
Where the active shooter drill gonna be at?
It was at Indian Land. I think it's gonna be Irwin Elementary. It's either Irwin or Brooklyn Springs.
Brooklyn Springs.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn Springs. I thought I'd heard it Irwin at one time, but it might be Brooklyn Springs, which is
Thank you, Brooklyn.
beside South, middle school.
Just talk and drag it out.
What?
Yeah. Go ahead, Chief.
I'd like to add one thing to what Sam was talking about for the active shooter drill. So, all of us have, families or whatever, so all of us have kids that are in school. And I rarely ever see volunteers at these active shooter drills. I do see them sometimes, they do come, but my point to that is, when an active shooter actually happens, everybody's gonna go running. You don't know what's going on, you don't know anything about staging, you don't know anything about the the triage, transport, how to apply tourniquets, or whatever it may be, without going to some kind of formal training, stop the bleed, some kind of active shooter drill. If you got volunteers at your stations, got kids, you know, you can talk to them and let them know, look, there's gonna be a drill. This drill is to prepare us for anything that happens. So, you know, this is just familiarization. Is it sensory overload? Yes. You know, but this isn't something that you shouldn't be trying to figure this out and trying to figure out what's going on the day of this incident. So, you know, this can better prepare you. I've seen probably the biggest turnout I've ever seen when I was in Buford for volunteers. You know, some in Kershaw here and there, but you know, for the most part, there's not a lot of volunteers that are coming to this, and I'd love to see more of that. You know, coming to these drills, even if it's just a bystander, just sitting, just seeing what's going on and how it operates. You know, you don't have to place yourself in these incidents if you don't want to, but just being there to be able to recognize it, operate them helps.
And typically on those, we'll run a morning and afternoon session, so if you can come to either morning and then can't stay for the afternoon, just come sit in on one session and you can move on.
When we say afternoon, is it before 5 or after?
I know it's after 12, after lunch.
Normally they get there, you know, we get there probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. We'll do a brief, you know, beforehand. And the scenario normally lasts probably 40 minutes at most. Most, you know, active shooter events, even from start to finish, are about 40, 45 minutes historically. But they'll run a scenario, and then they'll stop incident, and then everybody goes to the gym, role players, and everybody comes to the gym, debrief, and then have lunch, and then the one starts at 1:30, and then, like I say, it's usually done by 3:30.
Is there an option to have it after 5 with most volunteers working 8 hours?
That is something I can bring up to the committee.
I think it would be, you'd see more of a turnout from volunteers if we did that.
Or a Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I'll bring that up at the next meeting that we have on the active shooter, and it might be something they can work out. We normally typically follow the sheriff's office schedule, cause it's their, you know,
Really a law enforcement deal.
they're running it, we're there just learning RTFs, setting up triage, transports, helps.
So fire service is the only one that's gonna be hindered by it being a weekday, cause EMS is paying their people to go there. You know, sheriff's deputies are getting paid to be there, and the volunteers are the only ones that's.
And I'll definitely bring that up to
What was the date on that again, Sam?
July 22nd and July 24th. All right.
Cause I know, like, for me, I work from home, real situation during the middle of the day, something like that, okay, sure, I can justify that in order. But I'd have to take a vacation day to go to training. So,
Makes sense.
Okay.
You have comments on training?
Sam, I know you had brought up about the stations donating to the high school programs that help with that. How's the turnout been on that so far? Just to remind everybody that that's out there.
On the night that, at the Chief Association, 2 people donated personally, and then as of right now, the Shiloh's Ladies Auxiliary is the only one that has got me a check that I turned into the school for our program, so I hadn't received anything.
Well, Camp Creek's gonna help with that.
Yeah, we're preparing for that, cause that's coming up June 23rd through the 28th. We'll be
Are you
in
taking the
Atlanta.
kids to the beach?
Oh, and June 14th, I'll be taking the groups to the beach for,
Association.
association competition.
So, just take that back to your stations. That would help your kids out a lot.
Good thought, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I know,
Which one? Yeah, we didn't specify which one of the station.
And who we make the check out to again, Sam?
LCSDCC. It's Lancaster County School District Career Center. And that money goes into a pot that is nothing but Lancaster County Fire Rescue pot.
Okay.
And that is used for when I take those kids, it'll pay for their meals and
I'm gonna send out a blast text to my guys
whatever
after
they
the
need.
meeting
So
here
that
today to find out
money
what they
can't
wanna
be
do.
used anywhere else in the school programs. It is directly for us. She's got an account that is just my account.
Okay. Now, should we put like in the memo firefighter program?
You could,
That way that it
yeah,
doesn't
she'll
get
write,
lost
and
in
she'll write a receipt, and I can get the receipt back to you.
Okay.
LCSD.
I should have you something by tomorrow, that way you can start basing your trip off of
That's
funds available.
Okay.
Anything else?
Oh, and also on that, on May 12th, Lancaster County Council will be recognizing those three young men, replacing the state.
Anything else? About a maintenance report.
I don't have much report.
Tony?
Only got that before. Just to be clear, I did ask if there was a report I needed to give tonight, and I was told no.
Alright.
No, it's what, as you said, Dave, parts is an issue, so.
Parts, real big problem right now. I could give you a report, but it's probably not a report now.
Alright, we're gonna do a budget detail, which we, covered budget, got a printout that we get every time, showing the, 141 and the 144. If you have any questions or concerns about it, contact Darren. Anything else? Alright, any, commissioner announcements?
No barbecues, no
Keith?
fundraising?
I would like to, not an announcement, but I'm sure everybody's heard about it too, but you know, just remind everybody, when you go on calls, guys, the way this world is now, watch around you. Be careful about who you approach and who you go to help. Cause, apparently they don't have the same concern for, first responders that first responders have for them when they go to help them. You know, the police officer died and then the paramedic died by the same woman that is finally on $1 million bond now. Should have been on it when she killed a police officer. But like I say, just, you know, just making everybody aware of it when you're out there, be safe. Watch around you, watch people. You never know what somebody's gonna do or when somebody decides to turn on you. You know what I mean?
Watch your back and watch your buddy's back.
Yeah.
Keith, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna add some what Sam was talking about. I think our high school program is one of the best, and we've got a lot of folks, it's getting close to 40 that's actually got jobs in the fire service. The reason I'm bringing it up, Todd Gardner is the instructor at Cherokee County Schools. They told him yesterday that they would not renew his contract, and so his program will not happen in the fall. We will finish that this year. They got some of the same equipment. He's got brand new SCBA and everything, and the school district just told him they didn't want him there anymore. So just be thankful for what we got and what we've been getting out of the school system. You never know when something might change. I hate that for them. I hope they change their mind, because it gives the kids something, a career that they can actually make money.
I think on the school district side, it probably boils down to numbers, and that's probably why they closed that program. We're fortunately growing, so next year, just so you can promote the program, we've typically been a 2-year program since it started. So it was juniors came in, got fire 1, seniors came back in, got fire 2 in all their classes. Well, the problem we're having, because it's a state mandate to have what they call flex time, meaning it's just a free time that I think is a waste of time in schools that they give students to go to classes that need help. They had to shorten our classes. So we're actually switching our program next year. It will be a full 1-year program, but I'll have them half a day every day for a year. It's the same amount of hours as having them, you know, or one block junior year, one block senior year, I'm just gonna be able to do it all in 1 year. So, that'll also open the opportunity for kids that come to the Career Center and go, wow, I didn't even know we had firefighting was available. So now if they see it in their junior year, they can come back and take it in their senior year. And as long as they have room in their schedule. So make sure as you promote the class, let them know that, hey, now we're switching to this. So if they're a junior this year and going to be a senior next year, we can put them in the class. And my cap for the class per school district is 15. I would like to see me get to the 15. If I do get to 15, we're gonna have to really get some push from this commission to go to council, because we're going to raise the budget. I won't have enough money in the budget to supply 15 kids a year. So we'll have to, hopefully, if we can get to that point, that means our budget will grow on the school side. I'm a little skeptical, but I'm a little excited because, you know, we can now maybe reach more kids by doing a 1-year program versus 2.
Good news. Doing a
So
good job.
y'all start praying for me next year, because it'll be a big learning curve.
You can't pull your hair out.
So it's gonna end up,
Well, he
in
can't
a
on his
year,
chest.
they'll have firefighter 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to get fire 1 done first semester and then fire 2 done, which that's easy. Here's what stands us different from every program in the state. And I don't know if y'all have heard this, and I hate to ramble on, because we were on history to be the shortest meeting yet, but, so what sets us aside is the school district, or South Carolina Department of Education, they run 1196 and 1197 program. That's just numbers, but that's programs. And basically all they get is they do all their work online. Some teachers teach traditionally. Most of them watch a computer. They get hazmat ops or awareness, hazmat ops state level. They don't have to take the IFSAC. They get a firefighter 1 state level. Then they have to go challenge for the IFSAC. Then their second year, they get basic auto extrication and state level fire 2. Okay, so that's what HMA, HMO, fire 1, fire 2, basic auto extrication, and then there are 3 NIMS classes. So that's 8 plus CPR, so you're at 9. We give right at 16 certifications, because outside of IFSAC hazmat ops, IFSAC fire 1, IFSAC fire 2. They get building construction, support company ops, flag class at the academy, basic auto education, but we give them as many classes as they can get, and we run it basically like a recruit program. So when you graduate, you don't just graduate with basic level stuff. Now we can send kids, which, like our office here, a lot of them work here. City Fire, they have quite a few. Indian Land, we've got them there. Eventually, hopefully, we'll get, as Kershaw, we can get them in Kershaw. As we grow to a 24-hour service, and y'all all know, and even Greg can attest to this, finding firefighters these days is hard. So the more kids that we can push out of this program and get them trained, the better we're gonna be. I mean, we have one sitting right here on commission that came through 1 year of the program, and then we finished him up after he graduated. So, I mean, or 2 actually, because you got Chris and Justin sitting here on the commission that came through the program. So it's important that we promote it, because if we are gonna switch to a bigger career side, and as the city grows, as the county grows, and any land grows, we're gonna need all we can get, and I think being able to grow our own is the best. I mean, our program is beneficial, and it's, and any conference I go to, everywhere I go, they call me the other guy, because I don't do what they do. We give them way far and above and beyond what any other program in the state gets.
The more they get, the better off they are, and the better off we are.
Well, I give credit to Keith and Britt and Sam. I evaluated their program a number of years. I evaluated at least 4 or 5 other high schools. Nobody's even close, seriously. I mean, it's the quality of kids going through these programs and what they get. They're way beyond anybody else in the state that I've dealt with, without a doubt.
Any other comment? motion? Matt, Toby. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank y'all.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
Yes, I will.
Don't say nothing bad.
We were assuming 25, wow.
You know what?
Oh.
Next time I'm gonna rush the damn program.